Take a look at the animals disappearing from our planet every day. From majestic tigers to vital pollinators like bees, species are vanishing at an alarming rate, largely due to anthropogenic activity. According to the World Wildlife Fund, wildlife populations have declined more than 73% in recent decades, largely due to habitat destruction and overexploitation. Have you ever enjoyed fruits, vegetables, or clean air? These all depend on biodiversity and pollinators. Yet, as habitats are destroyed and species decline, the systems that support human life become unstable. Many everyday foods and ecosystems depend on species that are now endangered. The global endangered species crisis is rapidly worsening due to habitat loss and overexploitation. We must take action at the familial, communal, local, national, and global levels to protect biodiversity before it's too late. I have studied ecological systems and biodiversity through my AP Environmental Science and Biology courses, as well as my honors Environmental Science, Biology, Chemistry, Zoology, and Exploration of Sustainable Development courses. I've also published a research paper and studied peer-reviewed studies on habitat loss, overexploitation, and conservation strategies around the world. Today, we will discuss the problem of habitat loss and overexploitation, the effects these issues have on ecosystems and humans, and solutions we can implement at multiple levels of society to help protect endangered species. First, let's talk about the problem of habitat loss and overexploitation and how they are causing species decline. Habitat loss is one of the primary drivers of extinction. Forests, wetlands, and grasslands are being destroyed for agriculture, urban development, and resource extraction. According to an article from the National Library of Medicine, habitat fragmentation reduces biodiversity by 13 to 75%. Overexploitation is also pushing many species toward extinction. Overhunting, fishing, and illegal wildlife trade remove animals faster than they can reproduce. Iconic species such as elephants and rhinos are heavily impacted due to poaching for ivory in their horns. Now that we understand the causes of the endangered species crisis, let's examine how it affects ecosystems and human life. The effects of habitat loss and overexploitation are widespread and serious. Ecosystems become unstable when species disappear. Loss of predators or pollinators disrupts food chains and ecological balance. Biodiversity loss reduces ecosystem resilience, making environments more vulnerable to collapse. Humans are directly affected by species loss. Many crops depend on pollinators like bees, which are declining due to habitat destruction. In fact, according to an article from the Food and Agriculture Organization, 75% of global food types depend on pollinators. Medicines, clean water systems, and climate regulation all rely on healthy ecosystems. Now that we understand the severity of the problem, we must focus on solutions we can take at every level of society. There are solutions we can implement at familial, communal, local, national, and global levels to protect endangered species. At the individual and family level, we can make meaningful changes. Reduce consumption of products that contribute to habitat destruction, like unsustainable palm oil, which still accounts for roughly 8 to 12% of global deforestation annually, and is in almost every product you could think of, according to an article from Fahrenheit. Also, choose to avoid products that may include illegal wildlife products. We must educate ourselves and others about endangered species and conservation. We must support sustainable choices in food and consumer habits. At the community and local level, action becomes even more powerful. Participate in or support local conservation programs and wildlife protection efforts, like Keep Winston-Salem Beautiful. Protect natural habitats such as parks, wetlands, and forests. Encourage schools and organizations to promote environmental awareness. At the national level, governments can enforce stronger protections. The US government must create and enforce laws that are stronger against poaching and the illegal wildlife trade. They must fund more national parks and conservation programs, and they must support sustainable land use policies. At the global level, cooperation is what's most essential. International agreements like CITES, which regulates or prohibits trade in more than 38,000 species, according to an article from the World Wildlife Fund, and global organizations can work to fund conservation efforts worldwide. Supporting global conservation initiatives helps protect biodiversity across borders. In summary, we discussed the causes of the endangered species crisis, including habitat loss and overexploitation, the effects on ecosystems and humans, and the solutions available at multiple levels of society. These species are not just part of nature, they're essential to life on Earth. It's our responsibility to act now at every level to protect biodiversity. If we fail to do so, we risk losing not only the incredible wildlife, but the stability of the ecosystems that sustain us all.